Hi guys, this is Dylan from Alpine CrossFit. The point of this video is to go over workout strategies, some technique tips, and how to attack Turkey Challenge event number 1 for the 2021 Turkey Challenge Online Qualifier. For those of you who don't know, the Online Qualifier starts September 6th, ends September 20th, so make sure you get your scores in by then. Event 1 is a 10-minute AMRAP, 2,000 meter row. And in the remaining time, you'll do max ground to overhead, passing through a squat at 155, 105. So for the movement, you can do either a squat snatch or a squat clean to overhead. Do a power clean to a squat jerk if you want. All you have to do is pass through a squat at some point during the ground to overhead movement. So when it comes to strategizing this workout, it really helps if you know your 2,000 meter row PR. If you don't, then we'll talk about that in a second, but for those of you who do know your 2K row PR, you should be somewhere in the realm of around 90%, maybe 95% if you're a very efficient rower relative to your best 2K pace. Anything beyond that, you're giving up a lot of time, and there's not a lot of time to give up in a workout that is this short. So in terms of your row paces here, this is useful if you don't know what your best 2K is, or if you know your best 2K, you can still use this chart. This is not an exhaustive list. I'll add a link to a row chart in the description of this video. But so for a relatively fast guy's 2K row, 7 minutes or below would be a pretty strong 2K row pace. That would leave you 3 minutes plus to get your clean and jerks or snatches done. Ladies, if you're in the 8-minute or below range, that should give you enough time to get a good amount of clean and jerks done. But these are the paces that you would need to hold to get those approximate times. When you're strategizing this workout, what you're gonna wanna do is figure out what an appropriate row pace is for you to be able to get off and still get work done on the clean and jerks or snatches. And then from there, figure out what kind of pace you can hold on the barbell. So, using these score ranges as kind of an example of that. If you hold a 730 row and do 1 rep on the barbell every 5 seconds, that math ends up at 36 reps. Your score would be 36. That would be a very strong score, I would think. Obviously, it's just kind of a guess, but 36 on this is going to be a strong score. If you hold an 8-minute row and then do 1 rep every 6 seconds, that puts you in the 20 rep range. That's also probably likely to be a pretty decent score, but don't want to guesstimate too much here, but that should show you how you should be doing your math on this. So while you're warming up, figure out roughly what pace you can hold on the barbell. So if you're doing 1 rep every 6 seconds, every 8 seconds, every 10, 12, whatever's appropriate for you, figure that out, figure out your row pace, and you should be able to then extrapolate from there what your target reps are on the barbell. Keys to this workout, like I kind of touched on earlier, you don't have time to waste on the row. You don't want to go out and try and set a new PR on your 2K, but at the same time, if you give up 20, 30 seconds, that's anywhere between 2 to 5 reps on a workout like this, and 2 to 5 reps is a lot of places on the leaderboard. These scores are going to be bunched up quite a bit on the scoreboard, so you want to get as many, even 1 rep can jump you up a lot of places on a workout like this, so don't waste time on the row because even a single rep matters. The other thing, get the first rep done. So when you get off the rower, don't take 15, 20, 30 seconds to chalk up, take a drink, get your belt on. Get off the rower, do your first rep, get the barbell started. You're not gonna feel any better after taking a long rep or a long rest by rep 3 anyways. So if you take a long rest, do 3 reps, you're gonna feel like crap because you're out of breath anyways. Just get off, get into the flow, get into the rhythm of doing the barbell. You don't have time to waste on this workout. The last key, consistent rep speed. So on this workout, I think the key is fast and consistent singles rather than going touch and go sets. So touch and go sets may get you out in front for about 30 seconds, but if you maybe save 6 or 7 seconds on the front end, but then give it all back by having to take a big rest after doing that big touch and go set, it doesn't really matter. If you get towards the end, if you're at 9:45, 9:50 on the workout, and you're like, I've got a little bit of extra juice, let's just hang on for dear life, fully empty the tank, great, hang on for some touch and go reps, but it's better to end with some touch and go reps rather than start with some touch and go reps and then try and hang on. I think the idea is consistent singles, maybe end with some touch and go reps at the end. Finally, just kind of an anecdote here. This is a very similar workout to a team workout that was in the online qualifier for Wadapalooza in 2018, 2019. That workout was 2,000 meter row, max devil's presses in 10-minute clock. So we have some kind of idea of what appropriate rep ranges are. Obviously devil's presses are different than the barbell, but for the top 30 male teams, they were averaging about 22 to 28 devil's presses in that workout. For the top 30 female teams, they were a wider spread, wider rep range, 21 to 34 reps. I think that wider spread in the female range represents kind of the difference between if you're a strong rower as a female, you can pick up a lot more time on the field and then move that relatively lighter barbell for a lot more reps and actually get a little bit of a wider score range. I think the reps might be a little bit more clustered for the guys than they are for the women. I think there's a chance for the girls to have a little bit more of an outlier in this workout. But that is what I have for you in terms of strategy and workout planning. Now I want to go into some technique tips and how to attack the barbell in this one.
All right, last thing I want to talk about in terms of event one is the barbell, in terms of which movement you pick, in terms of some technique tips on how to make the movement a little bit more efficient. So in terms of which movement you pick, for the majority of people, this decision is going to be kind of made for you. For a lot of people, 155 or 105 is a relatively heavy barbell to cycle. So doing a clean jerk is just a more manageable movement to do for reps. So it's really not a decision that you're going to have to make. In terms of those of you who can cycle 155, 105 pretty efficiently, then you can start to figure out which one you do more efficiently, whether it's the snatch or the clean jerk. Some things to keep in mind with the squat snatch versus the clean. Pulling off the ground, the snatch, you might have a little bit more of a less vertical torso angle, so you might be pulling a little bit more with your back. Your back might go up a little bit more. Small considerations to make. Honestly, if you're somebody who can cycle 155, 105 for a lot of reps anyways, this is a little bit of a moot point. You're probably going to get a strong score on this workout anyways, and it might just be a matter of preference. But in terms of the barbell movement I want to talk about the most here is going to be the squat clean jerk and some different ways that we can go through that. So if this is a heavy weight for you and you have to do a pause at the shoulders and then either a push jerk or a split jerk, obviously do whatever style allows you to make the rep. You don't want to miss a lot of reps on this workout, but for those of you who are going to cycle this at a relatively quick pace, here are some tips that you can use to make that a little bit faster. So the first version that we can do is a squat clean thruster, so not pausing on the shoulders. We catch below parallel and just press directly overhead. So the advantages of that are you basically only have to do one squat. So you go below parallel, you come straight up. The disadvantage is it brings your shoulders down a little bit more because you have to finish the press to the top. But what that would look like is we're just pulling here, underneath, and then press to the top. Hopefully your rep will look a little bit less toesy than mine. In terms of advantages, like I said, you only have to do one squat, so it saves your quads a little bit. The other version of that would be a squat clean and kind of a cluster jerk. So you're jerking at the top of a thruster. So if this were a thruster workout, this wouldn't count. But if this is just ground to overhead, this should be fine. So we're going to go below parallel. And then without stopping at the shoulders, we're going to go overhead, but then dip underneath. So the advantage of that is it saves your press a little bit. The disadvantage is you basically have to do a mini squat at the top, so it might burn out your quads just a little bit more. But if that barbell's starting to feel a little bit heavy in terms of finishing the press, that's a really good option. The final option would be if this is getting really heavy, but you don't have to necessarily go to a split jerk, or maybe if you catch the clean weird and you don't have all your fingers on the bar, what you can do is pause in the middle, little pop, and then re-dip and push. So what that would look like is so the advantages of that are it might be a little bit more precise, you're less likely to miss a rep. It allows you to recover from a little bit of a funky clean maybe. If it's feeling heavy, you're more likely to be able to make that rep. The downsides are that's a slower cycle rate, and then you add in basically a third squat. So you have to go to the squat from the clean, squat to dip the bar off the chest, and then squat to dip to catch the bar. So those are the different options for the squat clean to overhead. Hopefully this is a helpful video, and good luck on event one of the Turkey Challenge on the Qualifier.